Hi everyone, my name is Stephanie and thank you so much for checking out this video. Welcome to my oily skin series. So if you are blessed with oily skin like me, then you've come to the right place. This video is going to be part one of a two-part series, and today we're going to be covering the first 4 makeup tips. So these recommendations do come from just me reviewing professional makeup artists. It also comes from research that I've done to see what works, what doesn't for oily skin, and also my own experience from just over the years of having trouble with oily skin, what to do, how to maintain it. So let's get into it. Tip number 1 is primer. You want to use matte and pore filling primers. You're going to want to stay away from hydrating and illuminating primers because that is just going to have a bunch of moisture, and with your oils that's just going to be way too much. So stick with matte and pore filling. This is going to keep your foundation in place. Right now my favorite primer is the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. This mattifies, blurs those pores, and it keeps my foundation in place. Tip number 2, translucent powder. Yes, you heard me correctly, translucent powder. Right after your primer, right before your foundation, this is gonna absorb your excess oil and it's gonna help your foundation stick onto more product to be able to stay in place. And trust me, this step has definitely changed my makeup routine and helps control my oil situation. I have recently discovered Ciate London Everyday Vacay. This is the coconut setting powder. The coconut scent is very light. It goes away very quickly. It doesn't stick around and give you a headache. It's very fine and it just works wonders. I really love it right now. Tip number 3 is your foundation. You're gonna want to stick with oil-free and long-lasting. Long-lasting is going to be your key word whenever you are looking for foundations, because it does have key ingredients to making your foundation long-lasting and budge-free. When working with foundation, you're gonna wanna start with light layers. Light layers equal easy touch-ups, and just going through light layers helps your foundation stay longer, and it's less likely for your oils to be coming out. The more you pack on, the more your skin can't breathe and the more your face starts producing oils. So light layers. If you want to use more coverage, you can definitely build up, but just keep that in mind. My ride or die foundation is going to be the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place foundation. This has changed foundation for me. I do not look at foundation the same anymore. I see mattes all the time and I'm like, oh, that's good, that's great, it works well. I have used so many foundations and I am telling you, this one lasts so long, and even throughout the day, because I do still get oily. I'm human, it happens. My skin looks luminous at the end of the day. It doesn't look cakey, it doesn't start to separate, it looks flawless. So definitely try this one out. Tip number 4 is gonna be baking. So you're gonna wanna bake the areas where you put your concealer, which is gonna be your under eyes, or if you're like me and you have hooded eyes, you have oily eyelids. So just go ahead and lift those lids and pack that on there, and also put the translucent powder in your oil problem areas, like for me, not just the eyelids, but my T-zone and also my chin area. So I'll go ahead and lightly dust it over my oil problem areas, and then I do kind of go heavy on the creases because I don't want my foundation to crease. I don't want it to separate. So I do place my translucent powder. I do place it in my smile lines. I place it here where I get my creasing between my lip and my chin. And also I will put it all over my nose because I blow my nose all the time. Like every time I eat, I blow my nose, like my nose just gets runny. I know it's really, really gross and like it's probably too much information, but that just happens. I don't know if it happens to everyone. I don't know if it's normal, if it's just me, but that's what I have to do to keep my foundation on my face. So as you guessed, I use my Ciate London, the Everyday Vacay. Amazing. I love it. I use it for baking. I use it for I think it was open. There you go. Whoops. An all-purpose baking powder. Well, it smells good now, so. All right, so those were the first 4 tips of this oily skin series. It's gonna be the primer, the translucent powder, picking the right foundation, and then baking your face. So please remember to like this video and please subscribe if you are wanting to hear the second part of this series. It's gonna be the last 4 tips of my 8 tips for oily skin. So thank you guys for watching. Bye.